Thomas, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Afternoon. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. First of all, how's your squad looking? Is everyone fit after the first leg?
Yeah, everyone is fit. Everyone is energized, ready. Can't wait to almost Christmas Eve.
It's interesting you say that. I mean, a lot of your squad have been in this position before a year ago. How much does that help you going into this second leg? The experience of 12 months ago.
It. I think it different. Of course, it helps us. You know, you are a tiny bit more calm. You know what you're facing. We know what it's all about, and we also know that we can turn this around. We have a good feeling and a good experience about it. Of course, we know it's going to be difficult. Bournemouth, I would say, have the upper hand, a slight advantage. I'm pretty sure after there was a normal game after first half and one team were up 1-0. I'm pretty sure the bookmakers would make them slight favorites to win the game. But the way I see it, because it's a double-legged, play at home, fans, everything, this is a 50-50 game. And we will come with everything and leave everything out there. And we believe and hope that will be enough.
The players who were part of the squad last year, are they energized to go one step further? And do you think that that's going to be an advantage when it comes to this game?
Yeah, I would say we definitely know that we can go to the final. We did that last year. So I think if you use the experience, I think you need to do that for the semi-final. I think final is a different game, one game. But the experience will give us calmness and belief, and we know we are a good team, and we've done well this year. So we will come with that.
You mentioned after the first leg that it was great to obviously have the fans back in the stadium. But you mentioned that you thought they were a little bit quiet. How important is it that your fans make a noise, and will that give you a boost?
Yeah, I think it's going to be crucial. I think we are going into a game where it will come down to the fine margins, and some of the fine margins are our fantastic fans that hopefully constantly push us forward, help us, are behind us throughout the game, making it louder than they ever have done before, to help us to get over the line, and that'll be crucial. I think you've seen that in I think the FA Cup final was a very good example with fans. What was it, 25% full or something like that in a huge stadium. That's a fantastic sound. I followed the Danish Superliga, and you can see some of those games. Small amount of fans in the stadiums, but incredible sound. So that's what we need. We need to top perform tomorrow. Our fans need to top perform tomorrow.
Just one final one from me. What lessons, if any, have you learned from the first leg that you must preach to your players to be cautious about going into the second leg? I mean, obviously Bournemouth scored on the break, but it was a pretty even encounter.
It was an even game. I think, of course, there's small tactical twists that we try to reinforce, and other bits that we try to avoid. But I think the two most important things is, one, win the next moment throughout the game, and that could be a duel, a pass, good position, second ball, set piece. So win the next moment for all our players on the pitch, and then have a cool head, because it will be very emotional, it'll be very stressful, and the team that are coolest in the most minutes in the match will have the best chance of going through.
Hi Thomas, how are you?
I'm good, James. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Thomas, how important is it for you to have fans at the stadium tomorrow? Because they were unable to be a part of the journey leading up to this point last season.
Yeah, definitely. I think since we come to the championship, in the end of last season were the best results we made in the club, in the championship, and we did it even without fans, and we would have loved to have them there, to celebrate with them, to be together with them in the final games at Griffin Park. Now we finally have the first opening of fans into our new fantastic home, and literally we can't wait to have them with us. And I think honestly, I think it's going to be, there will be some percentages that we will gain from having them in there.
You've lost so few matches in the last few months, but that defeat was the first in 13. What sort of response have you seen from your side? You spoke about there being an added calmness compared to this time last year.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere in this group is extremely good. There's that confidence, but also extremely humble and aware of a tough task ahead of us. And we know we need to play a football match, and we need to do it very well inside the pitch to go through. And the more we can think about the different tasks that will be in the game, either to play it wide or good rest defending or good pressure, whatever. That's the bit that will take us over the line. And I think that's what they've shown throughout the season that they're able of doing. But we know that Bournemouth are a very good side, and we know it's going to be down to the finest margins.
And speaking about fine margins, what area of improvement do you want to see from your side following that game on Monday?
I think that the main bit maybe was that we were a little bit better taking care of the ball throughout the game. I think we put even more pressure on them with the ball. I think we got better and better, especially second half. So that's one thing. But I think the team that can play with the highest intensity tomorrow will have the biggest chance of going through. So I hope we can do that.
And just finally from me, Henrik and Rico got a few minutes, or Rico got 30 minutes the other day. How tempted are you to revert back to that system with these two players being fit, or do you think that would be a bit too much of a gamble? Not that I'm expecting you to give too much away about tactics for tomorrow.
Let me put it this way, I'm extremely tempted of starting both of them. Extremely, because they think as they're two of our best players. So is that touch and go? Are they fit enough? Are they ready enough? Are they on 100% match fitness, confidence, all that? That's the big question I need to answer myself. I don't think I can answer it actually, but I can take a choice. I can make a decision, and then I'll cross my fingers and pray and hope it's the right decision.
Thanks, Thomas. All the best tomorrow.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Phil.
Just in regards to sort of team selection, does what happened on Monday, have an effect on the way that you look ahead to this game? Did you have a sort of an idea of how you'd use your squad over the two games prior to the start of the first one?
Not over the two games, I would say. I tried to put the strongest possible team on the pitch, because I think that was the most important thing to do. And the strongest possible is where you look into the specific players' fitness. For example, Rico and Henrik, how far were they? It could be a little bit how have we been doing the following games in terms of confidence and relationship and all that. And then I went with that team. One thing is for sure, I know what I will do in the different phases throughout the game, winning or losing. That's the thing that we have planned. But yeah, and still that'll be still touch and go, because it's also the feeling who is actually playing well, because that's another factor you need to take into the equation. So it's it's definitely going to be very interesting tomorrow. That's for sure.
They say, obviously, in big games and important games, that obviously it's about playing the game rather than the occasion. Tomorrow, you've got 90 minutes at the very least to get one goal. So how important is it to play the game, not to get sort of overawed by the occasion and maybe, you know, not go through the correct processes that you want to see your team go through, because, you know, it's about scoring and not conceding.
Yeah, agree. The closer we can get to get a good performance out there, where you only think about the football side of it, not the mental, not the occasion, the better we will perform. I'm not in doubt of that. I'm not in doubt of that. Of course, in these games, if we can, of course, we can compare it with other playoff semi-finals, but also could compare it with a lot of European nights all over Europe, the double-legged games, where the second one is completely different. So and that is definitely because of the occasion. So you get a bit more of the players in terms of maybe aggressive pressing or a even more fulfilled, engaged performance. So it's about hitting that perfect arousal level where you just is able to see everything extremely clear and be in the zone throughout the game. And that, of course, is what we're aiming to do tomorrow, and we can't wait. Literally can't wait.
It's not often Ivan has been kept, you know, quiet. Certainly over not 2 games. I know it was a difficult night, maybe for him the other night by his standards. You know, he's a player who has impressed people again this season with his way of dealing with defenders, working out how he's going to get himself into a situation to either score or help a teammate score. Do you think he would have learned something a little bit more about the Bournemouth defence?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not in doubt about that. I think we all learned a bit from the first game, just like I think Bournemouth also learned a bit from the first game about us. Speaking about Ivan, of course, you need your big players to perform in these games, and he's one of the players that we hope will hit a top level. I'm not in doubt that he will be there, but you never know, and he wants to be there, and he wants to perform, and he wants to be the person, the player, the big man that you know are there in the crucial moment. And I said it after the game against Bournemouth last time, that we need everyone to hit 7, 8 out of 10 performance tomorrow, and most likely 1 or 2 to be back up there with that decisive moment action on the day.
And this week I've experienced teams that have been put in front of fans for the first time and have seen different reactions. Actually, you've seen some teams who've sort of almost got too adrenaline fueled and sort of that's had an effect. I've seen others who've been very inspired by being back in front of their fans. Does the fact that actually, even though they were Bournemouth supporters, the fact that your boys played in front of a crowd on Monday mean that it's not going to be as big a surprise, even though that it'll be partisan tomorrow, but it's not going to be such a big surprise to suddenly have an atmosphere? Does that help?
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, it definitely does help a tiny bit, but of course we hope that the atmosphere is going to be incredible and can push us forward throughout the game. That's what we're hoping for, and that's what we try to animate to and be aware of, because sometimes you need that final extra push on the pitch, and we definitely need that tomorrow.